Hey guys, do you think there's something wrong with horrific murder of Charlie Kirk by Tyler Robinson? Do you think, are you guys 100% convinced that it was Tyler Robinson and that nobody else was actually involved? He wasn't like a pawn in the game? Are you like 100% sure? So let me tell you about a few of the facts. One of the facts is Tyler Robinson is only 22 years old. He just got an admission in the Utah University. And the guy took a shot from 200 yards and he was using a 98 rifle. He was not even using like a sniper rifle. So you're telling me that he had no prior experience. The guy just got angry one day and he went to kill Charlie Kirk. It wasn't like a pre-planned sort of thing. It wasn't like a premeditated thing. So he had to have a training for like a long period of time. Even if he did kill Charlie Kirk, and even if it did get him with the first shot, not 2 shots, not 3 shots, even in case of JFK Kennedy, the killer actually took 3 shots. So this guy, 22 years old, and he took 1 shot and he was able to get Charlie with 1 shot clean. Okay, there's no exit wound in that case, by the way. When a bullet actually crosses the neck, there needs to be like an entry wound and there needs to be an exit wound. There's an entry wound, but there's no exit wound. And the other thing they're saying, they turned off all the cameras, the back cameras, minutes after the incident actually happened. That means they were trying to deal this case in a different way. Why not deal it in a normal way? Why did they actually do that? Because normally it doesn't happen. And then the security just came and they took Charlie Kirk's body. So this thing happened. There's got to be something fishy going on. And then there's like a 71-year-old guy over there who started shouting that, I got him, I got Charlie Kirk. And then police caught him on the spot, but he was like a distraction for Tyler Robinson. That's what he's saying. He actually claimed today, he confessed that he's a distraction for Tyler Robinson because he wanted Charlie Kirk back. Now, are you saying that he didn't premeditate it? He wasn't in on the plan, he just made it on the spot? Like he just saw a bullet going through Charlie Kirk's neck and on the spot he was like, oh, I got Charlie Kirk, so he wanted to be a distraction. I don't think your brain has the capacity, it can't work that well during that time when the incident is actually happened, because after Charlie Kirk got shot with a bullet, everyone started running. So nobody was even in their right senses. And this guy actually had the brain power to think about the whole thing. And he said, I'm the one who actually got Charlie Kirk so that shooter can actually get away with this. He must really hate Charlie Kirk. So I don't buy that story. Again, I don't have a definitive evidence to go against it, but I think it's worth asking a question. I'm not saying you guys should take me for my word, but I think it's worth asking a question. We can ask those questions. And then another thing, this guy was also present at 9/11. He was the eyewitness at 9/11. So you think this is just a coincidence? He's present in Charlie Kirk's rally and he was also present in 9/11. That is just a coincidence. So I think it's worth asking this question. And because I think there might be like a bigger picture. Maybe there is somebody who actually planned this. Maybe maybe Tyler Robinson is the killer, but maybe he's just a pawn in the game. Somebody used him. And the next thing is, Charlie Kirk, we know from the sources, we know from 5 different sources, Charlie Kirk refused the funding from one of the biggest Jewish lobby, Zionist lobby, like a few months ago. And the Zionists were not happy with this. And he was really scared. And by the way, this come from very close friend of Charlie Kirk, like one of his best friends. And it's a published news. It came from one of his very best friends, and he said that he was really scared about this. And his family was worried about it too. So that thing, and Charlie Kirk, a few months ago, he gave platform to Josh Hammer, who is a pro-Israelist, and Dave Smith. Dave Smith is like one of the biggest pro-Palestinian. And there are things he can get away with because he's a Jewish guy, and he can say certain things about the Zionist lobby. So Charlie Kirk held a debate between those two. Charlie Kirk was just a mediator. He was just asking them questions. He was asking both of them very hard questions. And then Dave Smith kind of smoked Josh Hammer. And the feedback that Charlie Kirk was getting in the comment section from the Zionists and from a lot of people, actually, he was getting labeled as anti-Semitic. So him and Megyn Kelly were actually discussing that, and they were saying that it's never actually happened before. This is the one group that you cannot actually criticize. He's like, why is that? Like, I don't understand it. It's like Charlie Kirk he wasn't like a pro-Palestine guy. He was more like America first pro. And then he had to be pro-Israel a little bit because he was the biggest supporter of Trump. So he kind of had to support his guy on what he was doing. But when he was trying to question those things, that was causing problem for me. He was getting labeled as anti-Semitic. So that was like a thing that was happening to him. So you're saying this is just a coincidence and it has nothing to do with it? So obviously those guys were not happy with him. And then everybody knows that after the debate, he had a great argument with one of the Zionists who's like a billionaire. And Charlie Kirk was not happy with the criticism that he was getting because he was not allowed to criticize. This thing happened. And then you would remember then on Megyn Kelly, on Patrick Bet-David podcast, this guy actually came and he questioned one of the things, which was like Hamas was able to get inside Israel. And they were able to stay in for 6 hours and do the shootings. First of all, they came on bikes and all of this. And they were able to live stream. And Israel, having the highest intelligence in the world, were not able to actually find it. They couldn't know this. This is kind of crazy. Like, they did not even know that Hamas was inside for 6 hours and they're shooting it. They didn't try to stop them. So he was questioning this belief. It was like, it's hard to actually believe this. And then there were times when he actually called Epstein a Mossad agent. So basically, he was coming with the evidence as well. And that's not the only thing, by the way. He also discussed JFK, and the shooter of JFK, according to Charlie Kirk, was also a Mossad agent. He discussed that thing as well. And he was pushing for Epstein files to actually get released. Now, here's the thing, right? We can't, there's publication, there's official documents that actually say that the shooter of JFK was like a Mossad agent. I think that is pretty obvious, actually. A lot of people have actually discussed it. Dave Smith have discussed it. So it's on the files. I've actually seen the file as well. I've actually seen the file, actually seeing that written over there, that the killer of JFK was a Mossad agent. So when you have that many evidences, and one more thing I would say, that on the same day, 10th of September, when Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered, there was an election in the Senate regarding the release of the Epstein files, and 51% actually voted against the release of the Epstein files, and all of them were actually Republicans. Every single Democrat voted in favor of the Epstein files to get released, and one of the reasons we know why, because Democrats' reputation is already gone, so I don't think they care much about the Epstein files anymore. But Republicans are the ones who did the whole politics, the whole campaign based on the Epstein files and saying that we're going to release the Epstein files, and Democrats are the ones who are actually taking money and they're going to the Epstein Island and doing all of those sort of activities. So that's going to be very bad for the Republican. That would have been very bad for the Republican reputation. But what they did is, no, I'm not saying that Republicans did it, but it's worth asking a question. Do you think it's a coincidence that Charlie Kirk died on the same day? And Charlie Kirk is the one who's actually pushing for the Epstein files to get released. I know some of the times he would defend Trump because he was a Trump guy, so obviously he would have to do it. But we know Charlie was pushing for it. So you think it's not a coincidence? And also as a distraction, like Charlie Kirk dies, everybody's going to be talking about him. Nobody talks about the Epstein files anymore. So that thing. And one more thing is, Charlie Kirk also did not like the Iran war. When Israel attacked Iran, Charlie Kirk did not like it. Charlie Kirk actually went to Donald Trump's office. He had a discussion with Donald Trump. To everybody else, Charlie Kirk couldn't say those things, right? Because he's the biggest Trump supporter. He cannot openly say those things, but he went to Donald Trump and he actually expressed his willingness for America to not indulge in the war. He was a great friend of Donald Trump, and he would actually give his opinion straightforwardly to Donald Trump. That's what he was doing. We know from the sources that's true. And Megyn Kelly actually said that too. And then Charlie Kirk also did not like the Qatar war. When Israel dropped bombs on Qatar, he actually gave Ben Shapiro a very hard time. You can actually watch that. I watched that in real time, and Charlie Kirk had a debate with Ben Shapiro. He had Ben Shapiro on the turning point, and he was actually pushing him back. He was actually pressing him on the points, and Ben Shapiro did not seem to have an answer. When Charlie was just asking him, he's like, shouldn't we criticize them? Do you not think it's too much, like going to Qatar and then having a war? So Charlie Kirk was like a pro-American guy. He was like the first America first guy. He wasn't like an Israel first guy. And here's another thing, right? People might ask the questions that why did they try to kill Charlie Kirk? Like, what evidence do we have? Why didn't they try to do it? There's guys who are actually speaking much more than Charlie Kirk. Like, Charlie Kirk is speaking, okay, I think he was doing everything in good faith, but he's not doing as much as like Dave Smith or Candace Owens or like Tucker Carlson, or especially Nick Fuentes, Nick Fuentes is just all over the place. Nick Fuentes is the biggest pro-Palestinian guy. He's going against the Zionist lobby. Every day he makes videos about this. Why didn't they kill those people? The thing is, because they don't have as much influence as Charlie Kirk on the Republican Party. They do support Republican Party. Like, those guys are Republican Party supporters. Dave Smith, Candace Owens especially. Tucker Carlson was very close. He's a big Republican Party supporter. But are they as good of a friends as Charlie Kirk to Donald Trump? Or do they meet Donald Trump that freely? Are they that much close to J.D. Vance? Maybe Tucker Carlson is the only one. But Tucker Carlson doesn't go to college campuses and actually does create a dialogue. Charlie Kirk was the only one who was going to different universities. He was having dialogue, so he was bringing people closer on those issues. Like, this guy had the balls to actually go to England, go to Cambridge University, Oxford University. Like, some people take this as a weakness of Charlie Kirk. Like, he was going to different universities, picking on college campuses, young guys who don't have any ability to debate. But you can take that as like a positive thing as well. This guy's going there other people are prepared for his points because they have watched Charlie Kirk. They've been watching him for years, so they know what points he's going to come with. But he doesn't know. Like, he's going against a new guy every single time. They can bring anything new, and then he has to think on the spot and then counter them. I think at the same time, he was also giving them a platform. So for the college kids, they're getting famous. Like, a lot of kids got famous because of Charlie Kirk. You had Parker debating him. Parker he was already famous, but he got very famous because of him. Then you had a lot of other kids debating. Tilly, she did a great debate, by the way. I'm on her side. She was giving great points about pro-Palestine. So about the genocide in Gaza, she was giving good points of that. But she got famous because of Charlie Kirk as well. So he's giving platform to those people. And then because he's creating interaction, and that's why those people sad when Charlie Kirk died. And then people in the comment section were like, oh, some of the people were actually celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and they were not happy with people crying at Charlie Kirk's death. But they should know, you're dehumanizing people. You should not be happy at anyone's death. Like, even if you don't like the person, even if you disagree with every single thing they're doing, but there's something about the human dying. I don't think that should be appreciated. I don't think anybody should be killed for a difference of opinions. So I think it was just a horrific ad, and these are the things that are coming to my mind. I think Charlie Kirk, because he was going to university, because he was the one having discussions with everybody, because he was the biggest Trump supporter, I give 20% credit to Charlie Kirk for Donald Trump winning the election. This guy was giving mega hats to everybody. He was spreading the message of the Republican Party everywhere. He was discussing every single topic of the Republican Party, and he was giving other people fair points as well, fair amount of time. So I think they just didn't like that.